Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Welcome again for another episode of Sequoia Commercial Lending. Before I do the talk, just do a little announcement. This weekend, we will be in San Francisco or whether San Jose. If you have any people in that area, feel free to bring them online. Also, we have coming back on May 13th. Okay, May 13th. We just announced it on our Facebook. May 13th, we have our corporate event here in Rockville, Maryland. So we just post that event. So if you have any people in the area, please feel free to register. We love to see you. And not only that, I will be doing the talking, but also we already invited a few lenders to come on board. And hopefully, I keep my fingers crossed, okay? Hopefully by May 13th, we have one of the coolest tool ready for everybody to go market. And I'm not going to share with you yet because, again, I just don't want to leak anything, but it's going to be a very, very exciting marketing tool that everybody can use and has something to do with AI and Chat GPT. Okay, just want to just leak that much to everyone. Okay, so without any further ado, we are going to talk about switch our gear a little bit tonight and talk about different subject. For the last so many months, we have been talking about many different type of fundings. You hear us talking about mixed use. We talked about factorings. We talked about fix and flips, many different products. But today I want to switch gear a little bit and not talk about product, but I want to talk about the psychology behind why are we doing all these? What is the purpose for you and I to come into a meeting like this every single week? So one thing that I do is that from time to time, I like to review a lot of the notes that I took before. I've been to a lot of seminars in my life. I'm sure that a lot of you do. One thing is that when I've been to all these seminars, I like to take notes, and you never know what you can remember or what you don't remember, and what you can use it at that moment and what you can use in the future. So one thing that I do is that I like to take notes, and once a while, I would like to go back to all those notes and kind of review what I have wrote down. So what I'm about to present it to you tonight, it's a combination of many different seminars that I've been to. I picked up things here and there, and all these time I have been running my business based on all these things that I learned. At that time, when I attended the seminar, perhaps it didn't make any sense to me. I didn't understand why they say something like this. I didn't understand what the concept was. But then about 2 years, 3 years later, when I look back and I say, wow, this is actually true. It's actually very, very true. So what I would like to share with you, it's what I have learned in the past. And hopefully by understanding the concept, then we know where we can go, regardless if you are with Sequoia or not. Okay, so that is what I want to share with everyone tonight. It's about achieving financial independence. So we all want to become financial independent. But what exactly is financially independent? How do we achieve it? Are there any different, what are the different levels? What are the different steps? How many steps are there in order for me to get to where I wanted to go to? So what exactly is financial freedom means to me, to you? So the first thing that I want everybody to get away from this, it's have a very, very clear picture what financial freedom really is. How do we get there? A very, very clear picture. Now, when we see many times people are afraid of to do something, is because they cannot see the next step. They cannot see what the end result would be. So hopefully by giving you what I have learned in the past and some bullet points right here to explain to you what financial independence is, and you have the clear picture. And when you have a clear picture, you have the confidence to go out there, and also with a directions to go out there to know exactly what you needed to do. It's because many of us, I see a lot of people call themselves an entrepreneur, but they're not actually doing what entrepreneurs are supposed to do. I see many of them are running from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity, running all around the place. And one day they come back saying that this is the best opportunity out there. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, they will say, "Oh wow, I find another best thing in the world." And then another 2 or 3 weeks later, they find out, "Wow, man, this is the by far the best thing. This is my last thing I'm going to do." How many of you have run into something like this or run into people like this? Please type in 1 in the chat box for me. Okay. I see a lot of people just keep running from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity to opportunity. But what they are missing is the actual build up of whatever. I believe, personally, I believe every opportunity out there can make somebody become a millionaire. Somebody can become a millionaire from any opportunity out there. But by jumping from one place to the next, to the place to the next, to the next, to the next, you do not have a deep root in that so-called opportunity. You might be there for like 2 or 3 months and you don't see any money, and now you jump into another one, and you look back about a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, you are still looking for that opportunity. And the team that you built, the business that you built is not deep enough. And all of a sudden we just scatter. Okay. So that is what I see out there. So how do you achieve financial independence? I'm going to share with you 6 different stages. Okay. 6 different stages for you to get into financially independent. So the first thing is what we call financial dependency. Everybody start off with financial dependency. So financial dependency means what? It means you don't have any income. You're depending on someone else. Now, obviously, our kids, when they grow up, they depending on us. And that's why we call them the dependent. But also, we also have our older parents. For example, like my mom. She's almost 80 years old now. So she lives with me. She does not have a job. She doesn't work anymore. So again, at some point, she depends on me also. Okay, of course, she has the retirement and things like this, but she's depending on me. We might be a housewife or a house husband that we're taking care of the kids. We don't have any income. We're depending on another spouse, our spouse, for our day-to-day living. So that is what financial dependency is. Now, obviously, as we grow up, we want to get away from this stage as fast as possible. When we get out of college, we find a job, we're outside. Or even when we were in college, we have part-time jobs. We work, what we do interns, whatever that might be, so that we have income coming in to start taking care of ourselves. So obviously, financial dependency is not what we want to stay in for a long time. So, however, we all start from this particular stage. Now, very soon, we move on to the next stage. It's called financial survival. Probably we all know what that means. Financially survival means that I live from paycheck to paycheck. I make $1,000 a month. I use $1,000 a month. I might be even spend more than $1,000 a month. So I do have debt. I have credit card debt. I have student loans. I have, all kinds of loans. And without that paycheck, I cannot survive. Okay. So what comes in, what goes out. So we are constantly in that stage. We are constantly worried about what happened tomorrow, what happened next month. What am I? Where do I get my money to pay for my bills? How do I take care of my rent? So on and so forth. So in this financial survival mode, many of us is going to go asking for help from the government, giving us grant, giving us all kind of food stamp, things like this. So many people out there are still in the financial survival mode. But obviously, we don't like to get there. We want to educate ourselves. We want to go to school. We want to learn extra skill, whatever that might be, and get to the next stage is what we call financially stable. So financially stable means that we have a job. We have a stable job. We have income coming in every 2 weeks, every month. And the income comes in, covers all the expenses, plus have a little left over so we can do other stuff. Okay. So in this financial stable stage, many people in this stage can accumulate approximately 6 months of expense. So for example, let's say on a monthly basis, the rent, the food, transportations, whatever that might be, let's say it's $5,000 a month. They have approximately 6 months of their $5,000 saved. So in some way, they are a lot more peaceful. They're not that urge to look for money. But however, in this particular stage, they also know the income is limited. You make $30,000 a year, it's very, very hard for you to get out of that payroll. You make 50,000, 100,000, whatever that might be. So you have a job, but you also have a bottleneck. So many people in this stage will start to learn an extra skill. So for example, when I started it out, many of you know that I used to work for a company called Lockheed Martin. So when I worked for that company called Lockheed Martin, I think at that time I was making like 40,000, 50,000, so many years ago, right? And it just can't, yes, money coming in, but you also know there are a lot of things that you want to do, but it's just not enough. So now I start to take classes to become a realtor. So now how many of us are in that situation right now that you have a full-time job, but at the same time, you want extra income and you have another career, for example, like a realtor, you sell insurance on the side, you do mortgages on the side, or you do any other part-time on the side. So to increase your income. So that is what's financial stable stage it's all about, okay? So also in this stage, you also have some sort of retirement account, not a whole lot. You have some retirement safe. You might have an insurance, okay? So that is financial stable. Now, the next one is what we call financial comfortable, financial comfort. In this stage, obviously your income, it's a lot more than your expense. In this stage, you have a stock portfolio, you have 401k, you have IRA, you might have an income producing property, you might have a mutual fund somewhere around that generating what we call passive income for you, or using or you have other revenue to make money for you instead of you making the money. Okay, so that is financial comfort. So that in this stage, you can actually, take the vacation that you want. I'm not talking about luxury vacations yet, but you can take the vacation that you want. You can go from place to place. You can change a car every other 2 or 3 years. You have extra monies to play around with. So this is financial comfortable. And I hope many of us are in this stage right now, at least. Okay, we are already out of the dependence. I bet many of us are already out of that. I hope a lot of us is out of the survival mode. Hopefully you're in a stable mode, but I hope many of you are in the comfort level. Okay, so that is the next stage, is comfortable. All right. Now, the next one is what we really call the financial independence stage. You're not only comfortable, you are independent, meaning that sometimes you don't even need to work. The money that you have, the stock that you have, the dividend that you have, the portfolio that you have, the real estate that you have, already generating you a lot of enough income so that you don't have to work. So financially independent does not mean that you have to make $1 million a year, $10 million a year. It does not. It doesn't mean that way. Financially independent means that whatever portfolios you have, without you working, you have a way to generate income to pay for your living standard. So let's say if your monthly expenses, it's $10,000 a month. Without working, somehow, somewhat, you have $10,000 a month coming in that you don't have to worry about that cash flow, and that cash flow will just keep coming in and getting more and more and more and more, and you don't need to worry about that. That is financial independent. That is where we want to get to. That's all of our dream, to get to financial independence. So financially independent means that take a look at what is your monthly income. Okay, take a look at what is your monthly income. And without working by yourself, do you have a way to generate that income for you? So that is financial independent. But as a matter of fact, that is not the end. When we get to financial independence, the next level that we want to get to is what we call financial abundance. Financial abundance. This is the mega wealth people achieve to this level. The money coming in is much faster than they can spend their money. The money that comes in, it's ridiculous. And now at this stage, they don't need to work. They don't even need to worry about their future. They don't even need to worry about the rest of their life. And what they are doing at this stage is to, how can I distribute my wealth? How can I help others? How can I use what I learned to benefit the human society? So that is what financial abundance is. Look at all these mega wealthy people, right? Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. When they get to that level, they don't walk on their own, their field where originally they came from anymore. They want to do other things that can benefit other human beings. So those are the 6 different financial stage that we can achieve in our lifetime. So ask yourself right now, where are you at this 6th stage? Are you still dependent on someone? Are you in a survival mode, or a comfort mode, or a stable mode, or you are truly already independent and you want to get into the abundance level? So those are the 6 different levels, or 6 different stage that anyone can get to. So now this is a very clear roadmap for us to get to from stage 1 to stage 6. Those are 6 different stages that we get to. Now, how do we get to that? Okay. How do we get to this 6 different stage? Now, this particular slide right here was taught to me by my mentor when I just started at my business. I was very lucky to find a mentor such as this person. Very early, she already mentored me. Alan, those are the following ways that you can make money. The first way is what we call physically. You work physically to generate income. I still remember the days that I delivered newspaper, physical. I still remember the days that I wash carpet for restaurants at the middle of the night. So those are physical labors. We oftentimes hear physical labor. Now, we can work very hard. A lot of people saying that it's hard work. What does hard work mean? A lot of people refer to hard work is that physically they're working very hard, and every single day when they get home they're really tired, and when you depending on your strength physically to generate income, you only have a certain years. Once you get to 30, 35, you just don't have that strength anymore. You just cannot handle that night shift anymore. Okay. So, but however, somehow, somewhat, many of us start with our physical strength, and that is how we generate income. And the second level that we get to is what we call using our skill to make money. And that is why we realize that, hey, just by, carrying stuff, it's not going to cut it. I need to go to school. I need to get a technical degrees. I need to get college degree. I need to get a master's degree. I need to get a doctor's degree. I need to keep constantly increase my skill in order for me to generate income. And that is why you see a lot of people, they are doctors, they are lawyers, but it's not enough. They need to continue to educate themselves, It's because they stuck themselves in the skill mode. And as a matter of fact, the way that I see it is that the world, there's 80% of the people, regardless how much money they make, they stuck at the skill level, meaning that if you're a lawyer, guess what? A lawyer is using his skill to make money. Am I right? And again, regardless how hard you work, you're only 40 hours. You're only 24 hours a day. Okay. So in this particular level, a lot of the people cannot get to mega wealth or cannot get into financially independent is because they stuck at the skill level. You depending on your own still physical strength and your mind and your skill to generate that income. Now, absolutely, you can definitely make a lot of money. But think about this. Once you do not work, once you lose the skill, what would happen? We all know that we are living in a very, very fast-paced world, okay? And I bet that a lot of you already hear something called ChatGPT. Now we know that when that thing really, really mature, a lot of people is going to lose their job. I don't care if you're lawyers or doctors or whatever. When you go to ChatGPT, they can do a lot of things that the doctor can do. They can do a lot of things that the lawyer can do. You ask them to write an operating agreement. Used to be that we go to a lawyer to do that, and nowadays I don't need to do that anymore. So technology is going to replace a lot of this skill, but yet many of us are stuck in the skill mode. So however, that is the second way. Unfortunately, many people only knows that, hey, I need to work hard, and they don't know anything else. So that drives me to the next one. It's called money. You use your money to what? To make money. And that is called investment. Again, 401k, IRA, stocks, cryptos, investing in real estate, investing in gold, commodities, all those are investments. So it would be much easier for you to use your money or use someone else's money to make money for yourself. That is what we call the OPM, okay? You look at a lot of those big wealthy people out there. How can they do that? When I started my career, the first business book that I ever read is called Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, okay? And in that book, it talked about good debt and bad debt. I had no idea what he was talking about. What is good debt? What is bad debt? I had no idea, but now I do. Now I really, really do understand that, wow, this is powerful. But luckily, at that time, I read that book, and one thing about me is that, hey, if somebody can say something like this, that there's so many people following him and doing what he told people to do, there got to be a reason behind it. So instead of questioning about his philosophy, might as well just try it out and do it. And guess what? Once you, that's another saying. And again, in another saying, in my early days, one of my mentors told me that, hey, in order for you to become a millionaire, just follow another millionaire and do exactly what he or she does. How many people heard something like this? If you hear something like this, put a 2 in the checkbox. Okay. So one thing about me being many of you know that I'm in the military. Okay. So one thing that I learned to do is to follow instructions, follow orders. And if a millionaire tells me that, right, a millionaire wrote a book, tell me that, hey, get into good debt, then I get myself into good debt. So all of a sudden I realized that, wow, this is crazy. I start out with purchasing one house. And when I purchased that house, I used something called a VA loan. Okay. This is called a VA loan. A VA loan, you don't put down anything. As a military guy at that time, I purchased my first house, cost about $220,000 a townhouse. That is in the year 2022. 2004. Sorry, 2004. That was my first house. At that time, it's $220,000. A lot of money. Okay, but I did not put down anything. But if we remember the good old days, what happened? That is, the market just keep going up like crazy. Am I correct saying that? Everybody still remember those good old days? The market keep going crazy. So when I purchased the house in 2004, and all of a sudden, a few months later, that property worth about $250,000. And a few months later, that property worth about $300,000. So now the good dad told me that, hey, you have money in the house, take money out from the house and buy another asset. So that's exactly what I did. I went to a loan officer and do a cash out from my property and take out, at that time, the property worth about $300,000. I took out $250,000, pay off the $220,000 debt. I still have about $30,000 left. And I used the $30,000 to purchase another property that worth about $150,000 as a down payment. And I borrowed the rest. Now, all of a sudden, I got 2 houses. And I said, wow, man, this is cool, man. I mean, I could never imagine myself got 2 houses like this. Using my own money, I cannot do it. Now at that time, somebody told me that, Alan, this is the power of OPM. This is the power of other people's money. When you use other people's money, let me ask you this. When you make money, when you make $1 million, do you need to pay tax on that $1 million? Absolutely. That is your income. You make $1 million, that's your income tax. But when you borrow $1 million, do you need to pay tax on that $1 million? No, you don't. That is a loan. And that loan can actually help you to get to the next level. So that is what I did, purchasing property to property to property. And that is, all of a sudden, I realized that, wow, I got 6, 7 houses already at my age. That is the power of using money to make money. And that is what we need to learn. And that is the next level for us to generate income. And that is, you look at a lot of those big wealthy people out there. All of these wealthy people out there, they all have debt. They all have, I don't care, I don't know if it's a good debt or bad debt, but they all have debt, and the debt is work for them instead of against them. Of course, when you take money out to buy a car, to buy asset that depreciated in value, obviously it's going to kill you. But when you take out money to buy asset that increase in value, for example, like gold, real estate, or purchasing another business that go in value, go up in value, or purchasing stocks or portfolio, whatever that might be, and all of a sudden, a few years down the road, you realize that, wow, you have a lot more wealth than what you can imagine. But that is the third level. It's called using your money to make money. It's investing. It's very, very, very important for us to invest our money. No matter how much money you make, you always invest. Regardless, it's 10%, 20%, 30%. That's why 401k forces you to put money into 401k, IRA, and things like this. Those are good things. So if you have something like this, if you do not know how to invest money, find someone that help you to invest money. Now, and another mentor tell me this early in my age. He said, Alan, in your lifetime, now remember, guys, in your lifetime, those are the following people that you need to get yourself associated with. You need to have a good doctor. Okay? You need to have a good doctor. You need to have a good CPA that can help you. Don't do your own tax. My mentor told me, don't do your own tax. Find a good CPA to do your tax. That CPA can save you a lot of money. Number 2. Number 3, find yourself a good lawyer and stuck with this lawyer for years and years and years to establish relationship with this lawyer. So that's what I did. I find a lawyer, and now I've been working with this particular lawyer for the last 10, 15 years. Every time when I have an issue, I go to him first. When I need a nasty letter, I go to him first. He take care of it. When I need a good letter, I go to him first. He take care of it. When I start my business, I go to him first. He helped me to write up all the company documentation and so on and so forth. So find yourself a good lawyer, okay? So you have a good doctor, you have a good CPA, you have a good lawyer, and you need to have a good financial advisor. A lot of people make the mistake saying that, hey, I know how to invest in stock market. I know how to read all those graphs. I can do this, I can do that. But quite frankly, All these people went to Harvard, all these people went to business school. They spend years, and that is what they do. That is what they're good at. Me as an engineer, I'm good at what I'm good at. So yet another mentor tell me this, Alan, in your life, know what you cannot do. It's very, very important. So a lot of people always saying that I can do this, I can do this. And that's why you see them jumping from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity. It's because they always think that I can do this, I can do this. Oh, if that guy can do it, I can do it too. But they did not know that, hey, if that guy can do it, does not mean that you can do it too. So identify things that you cannot do and stay away from it. And focus your energy on the things that you cannot do and do it well. And that is how you generate so much wealth, because you are so deep in that particular field. So using your money to generate money. So the last one is to find a good financial advisor. To find a good financial advisor, and you can see your portfolio grow when you start with a good financial. I'm not talking about just anyone out there. Okay. Interview financial advisors. Find out what they do. Find out if they, how long they've been in the business. Okay. So those are the 4 type of people that you really need to get yourself into in your life. So the next level is what we call using your money to make money. Have someone else to generate that or manage that money for you. Now, if you're a real estate investor, understand one thing, that you are an investor. You are not a manager. What does it mean? Your job is to go out there to look for good deals. You look for property, you like this property, you purchase it, and now what? Many of us will become a manager. I'm going to put a tenant in there. I'm going to manage this house. I'm going to fix the toilet. I'm going to change the light bulb. I'm going to do the paint. No, that is not your job. That is someone else's job. Your job is to find somebody that can manage your portfolio for you, to manage the money for you, to manage all these assets for you. So once you invest, once you look for your good deal, find a good property manager to deal with all these headache. Put a tenant in, whatever that might be. Your job is to continue to look for the next deal. Look for the next deal. Once you have a deal in, send it to the manager. You got a deal in, send it to the manager. Unless you yourself is a professional property manager, that's a totally different story. But I bet many of us are not. So focus on what you are good at. Do what you are good at, and leave the other to other professionals. Pay them a fee. Okay. When you pay them, a lot of people say, oh man, that cost me so much money. Well, there got to be a reason for them to cost that much money, because they are good. And use them. When you pay them $200-300 an hour, they can save you a lot more money than $200-300 an hour. Okay, so utilize the professionals. Don't do anything yourself. So again, that's the next thing, is called using your money to make money. We all understand that. Now, the next level, my mentor told me, is that, Alan, use your credit to make money. Use your credit to make money. At that time, I had no idea. What do you mean by using credit to make money? Now I'm in commercial lending, and you are all in commercial lending. Now we all understand one thing. Anytime when you go out there to look for a loan, what is the first thing they ask you? What is your credit score? Am I correct saying that? What is your credit score? Your credit score is 500. Don't even think about this. They're not going to give you a loan. If your credit score is 800, everybody is going to love to give you a loan. And the interest rate is a lot more beneficial than somebody's that is a 600 credit score. Am I correct saying that? So take care of your credit. Now, how do you take care of your credit? Deal with the small things first. You pay your car, you pay your bill on time. You're never late, okay? You need to know where your money goes. Build up your credit and maintain your credit. Now, the credit that I'm talking about right here is not just simply your credit score. It's about your personality. It's your credibility. It's your character as a person. When we start out in our career, we don't know anybody out there. We use our physical strength to make money. We use our skill to make money. We build up our network and we start dealing with people. We start to have business partners, so on and so forth. But guess what? At the end of the day, when people do business with you, it's all about your character. Are you trustworthy? Are you the person that can deliver what you say? Can they trust you? And after all these years in business, I still have people that I know 20, 30 years ago and come to me saying, hey, Alan, let's do business. And sometimes when you think about a lot of these, let's say, imagine today, Elon Musk come out here saying, hey, I'm going to start up another business, John. Do you even question about what are you going to go into? No, I mean, he already have so much success story. You know that whatever he touch, it can become gold. And I would go into business with him anytime. Have you ever heard somebody saying that, oh man, if this guy go to war, I will follow him? Have you ever heard something like this? Why would you say that? It's because you know that person is trustworthy. You know that person has a track record. You know that person can get things done. You know that person is a good leader. They have the good leadership. You know that person has good business sense, that you are willing to follow him. And we need to develop that too. It does not matter what age you are. It doesn't matter. 10 years later, you will become somebody. 10 years later, you will become somebody. Ask yourself, what kind of person you want to become? What kind of people you want them to follow you? Will there be anyone willing to follow you 10 years from now? You ask yourself, regardless who you are. So credibility is very, very important. So whatever you started right now, 10 years ago, right now, today, 10 years later, where would you be at in that field? Are you still jumping around to looking for opportunities? Or are you already become an expert in that opportunity that you have authority when you go out there to talk to people? It's totally up to you. But building up the credibility is very, very, very important. I see a lot of people that want to play tricks. Oh, I'm going to, all they want is one-time business. One time they make a lot of money, but then they lose everybody. They lost their client, they lose their partner. Yes, they make a lot of money with that one deal, but they will never come back to him anymore. So credibility is very, very, very important. So that's one thing that, I love the Navy, is that the Navy motto is that honor, commitment, and courage. Honor, they put it number one. You got to be an honorable person. So that is number 4, using your credit to make money. But that is not it. The biggest one, it's using a system. Use a system to make money. Use a system. Look at all these mega millionaires out there, all these big companies out there. They're all actually a system. PayPal. We bet everybody use PayPal right here. Or a lot of people use PayPal. PayPal is a system. Am I right? Uber is a system. Amazon is a platform, is a system. eBay, you name it. We can go on and on and on and on and on. Now, ask yourself, if we want to achieve financially abundance, meaning that I don't need to worry about money coming in, keep coming in, I don't need to worry about for the rest of my life. Can you just depending on yourself? I don't think so. Especially with today's environment, you cannot just depending on yourself. You have to depending on a lot of people. You have to depending on a good platform. Now, either you design a platform for yourself. I don't care what it is. You design a platform for yourself and everybody uses it, or you find a platform out there that you see it has the potential and stuck with it. And now that's why I'm talking about this topic today and lead to this point. Sequoia is a system. What are we trying to do right here?
We are trying to disrupt the commercial lending industry. No one else is out there doing something like that. Well, I bet someone out there is doing something like this. But again, the pie is big enough. We spend a lot of time to think about what this system can do, and what can this system do so that other people can use. So talk to yourself, ask yourself this: what system are you in right now? I know there's a lot of platform out there, right? So all those so-called business opportunity out there, it's a platform, it's a system. And I said it in the beginning of the presentation, I bet a lot of people in those systems are making money if they stuck to it. But unfortunately, a lot of people just cannot, just going from one place to another place, okay? So that is the path to generate wealth. Where are you right now? Are you still depending physically your strength to get that paycheck? Are you stuck at the skill level where you have a full-time job, you cannot get away from it? Are you already using your money to make money for yourself? You don't work for anyone anymore. You have a portfolio that can generate your income. Do you have the credibility to go out there to tell people that, hey, I'm starting up a new business, and all of a sudden you have 100 people following you? And last but not least, do you have a system that you can designed, or do you have a system that you can plug into to get to financially independent, or better, to get to financial abundance? Those are the different paths for us to get to financially abundance. So now, let's talk a little bit more. A millionaire, okay? A millionaire. And we all know a lot of people start out with nothing and they become a millionaire somehow, somewhat. So based on Wealth X website, this is a website, Wealth-X. You can go to their website and check. And basically, Wealth X saying that there are 68% of the millionaire started with nothing. Why? What do they have besides of whatever I show you? What do they have? It's because they understand the wealth formula. And here I'm going to give you the wealth formula. To a lot of people, what their wealth formula is: wealth equals to income, or wealth equals to salary. So in order for me to become wealthy, I need to have more income to come in. I need to have more salary to come in. And that is why I need to continuously to upgrade myself, to get to get a master's degree, to get a doctor's degree, to get another degree, to get a 3 doctor's degree. Continue to upgrade ourselves. But we all know that doesn't work. Whatever the upgrade that you put into yourself, 2 or 3 years later, it's outdated. You have to continue to upgrade yourself. Am I correct saying that? So that is not the right formula, but unfortunately, a lot of people are following that formula. So regardless what you do, okay? Regardless what you do, many of us go out there, let's say we're in business. We are a real estate agent. We are a loan officer, insurance agent, whatever that might be. What do we look for? We always look for clients, customers. Am I correct saying that? Why? It's because we want to increase our income. But do you know what's wrong with keep going out there to look for a client? It's because that client, most likely you can only do one-time business. Regardless how good you are, most likely that client will just come to you one time. And then after that, he or she will be gone and go to somewhere else. So keep looking for income and salary is not going to get you where you want to go to. But what is the true formula? The true formula is this: increase your value, increase your personal value. What value do you have? What value do you have so that other people will come to you, will attracted by you? Now, I don't know anything else. All I know is commercial lending. Why I keep coming back to commercial lending is that there's a lot of people do not have what we have. We can add a lot of value to other people. Ask yourself today that you are here today, how many of you are real estate agents? How many of you are loan officers? How many of you are insurance agents? How many of you are in service business? I bet a lot of us are already in that business. But guess what? There's a lot of competitions among those industry. Am I correct saying that? A lot of competitions. But now coming into commercial lending, and all of a sudden, why so many people join us? Why you join us? It's because what you realize is that what? This business add value to your clients. So I bet you, if you're a real estate agent, you already have clients that you sold house to. Perhaps that client is already a business owner. He's looking for funding for his business. Now, when you are only able to sell a house to him or sell an insurance policy to him or whatever service to him, and that your value is very limited. He only sees you as a real estate agent or loan officer. But now, all of a sudden, if you can provide funding for him, perhaps he's seeing you not just as a real estate agent anymore. Perhaps he sees you as a financial or a business consultant. Does that make sense? A business consultant, hey, you need a house, you need a property for your business, I can help you out. You need funding for your business, I can help you out. You need insurance for your business, I can help you out. Now, all of a sudden, you do what? You add value to that particular person, not just selling that person one product. Now, if that value, it can solve a lot of problems, now everybody would like to join you. So back to what we are talking about here in commercial lending. What kind of problems do we solve? The way that I see is that we solve the following two problems. Problem number one, we solve the funding problem for our business owners. They need funding. They go to the bank shut them down. They have nowhere to go. We come in, we help them to find the funding that they need. Solve that problem and ask yourself, how many business owners out there that needs funding, that they cannot get funding? A lot of them, we already know. The second problem that we solve is we solve the value problem for a lot of professionals. I already mentioned real estate agent. They know a lot of business owners. So does insurance agent. So does loan officers. So does CPAs. So does a lawyer's accountants. But many of these people know their clients need the funding, but they have nowhere, or they don't have a platform that can service their client other than what they're already doing. But if we can provide a solution for them, and guess what? And all of a sudden, you become the spotlight. People would like to talk to you. And if you don't believe me, okay, I challenge you to do this. How many of you have ever attended something called a BNI group, Business Network International? I don't know what that I stands for, but there's a lot of chapters out there for BNI or investment group, whatever that it might be. So when you go to a BNI group, there are many groups out there. They're all similar. They all have one real estate agent, one loan officers, one accountants, one contractors, one people that does lawn, one cleaner, pretty much the same. But not many groups out there that has a commercial loan consultant like you. And when you go into that group, everybody would like to talk to you. It's because all of a sudden you are the focal point that you can fund businesses to all those people out there that's running business in that group. Try it out. That is how I started out my business. That's how I started building my network at the beginning. So again, try it out. So again, we are providing a solution for a lot of people. And also, let's not talk about Sequoia. Let's not talk about commercial lending. What business can you get involved with that can help other people, that can solve a lot of problems? And not just solving problems, but solve problems massively. Not just to one people, but to multiple people. And when you solve a problem to one person, and the other will come in as well. So if we can do something like this, now we can really get to from step 1 to step 6. So hopefully I can share with you what the path is. How can we get to from what are the different levels in our financial stage? How do we get there? And why are we get there? What is the philosophy behind it? Hopefully now you have some clear picture. Where would you like to go? But ultimately, why are you doing this? It's because I believe in one thing, that we are out there looking for one thing. It's not because of money. It's because of time. It's because I want to spend my time. When I have a job, there's somebody pay me $100,000 a year. I traded $100,000 with my time. For that 40 hours a week, I got locked in a shell, in a cell. I got locked in. I have to report to that place every single day for the next 40 years. But I don't like that. So all of us want to become financially independent or financially abundant is because I want to dictate my time. Regardless how much money I make, regardless how much money you make, as long as you can control your time, you can tell yourself to do whatever you wanted to do. Most importantly, you tell yourself what you don't like to do and you don't do it. That is what we call freedom. So again, that is my presentation tonight. And hopefully we can take something from this and have a clear picture why you want to do the things that you are doing right now. And with Sequoia, we know that we have a platform. Our goal is to get to 5,000 people by the end of this year. And the reason that we can say that is because we know there's a lot of people out there are looking for an opportunity, are looking for a solution to their problems. And we have the solution right here for them. So my encouragement to you is that if you do see something in Sequoia, don't do it by yourself. Go out there to build a commercial lending empire through this platform. I bet you one thing. Today, with the economies like this, many professionals out there are looking for an alternative way to bring in the money that they used to enjoy. Realtors, loan officers, I already mentioned it to you. Go out there and talk to them. And by the time that 10 years from now, or 5 years from now, I don't know, you might already have a commercial lending business that you are running, that you don't need to worry about, that the business is generating income for you. Okay? So again, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have. So we have about 7 more minutes, and any questions, comments, feel free. Okay? Okay.
Great.
Let's see. Who's this? I'm sorry.
This is Patsy Stallings. Great presentation.
Hey, Patsy. Okay, great. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So let me see. Are there any questions right here? Yes, I want to live a great life. Absolutely. We all want to live a great life. Okay. So yeah, today it's a little bit different than commercial lending. Commercial lending is just a tool. Please understand one thing. Commercial lending is just a tool. Perhaps you have a better tool already, but whatever you believe in yourself. Believe in that tool. Okay. But most importantly, also do some market study also, because and another thing that you don't like to do is to blindly believe in something. That's very dangerous. All right. I do see a hand. Jalen, please.
Hello, Alan.
Hey, Jalen, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for an amazing presentation. Just want to encourage everybody to keep pushing and keep having those conversations, because you'll be surprised what comes your way with just a simple conversation. You have the solution. Everyone's going to come to you as soon as they find out that you are the key to the source, right? Yep. Speak proudly about having those 500 lenders that you have access to. They have to come to you to access them, so just really speak up on that, and let's continue to move forward and keep conversations coming. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jalen. Thank you so much. Well, one thing, remember, the lender, a lot of people saying that, well, can I find this lender online? Yeah, absolutely. You can find a lot of lender online. But the most important thing is that, have you vet them? Because a lot of lenders out there cannot deliver what they say they deliver. There's a lot of lenders out there are not in the intention to lend money to our client, which I'm going to talk about in my next session. It's the trap in lending. Okay, there's a lot of traps in lending, especially in commercial lending. So that's another topic. So all these years we have been in this business, we vetted all these lenders. We know that they're legit. We know that they have the good intentions to fund their to fund their money. Do you know there's a lot of lenders out there? It's not, the intention is not to fund, but the intention is to fund to hold. They give you the money, but the intention is to take your property away. I'm going to talk about that in the next session. Okay, so there's a lot of them out there like that. Okay, well, thank you so much, guys. Glad that you guys like it. Let me see if I have any other questions. I'm new to the call. How do we receive the information on being a lender? Now, Stephanie, I'm not sure if you really want to become a lender. A lender requires a lot of licensing. You need to have a lot of capital. You need to know what you're trying to do. So honestly, if you really want to become a lender, talk to me off the line. And if you really have the money, would love to see what you will try to lend on, and perhaps you can become a Sequoia lender also, if that's what you really want to be. Can I partner with a banker that cannot provide the loans? Yes, absolutely. A lot of bankers out there. I mentioned it to you last time. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, especially those big banks. I have the presidents of PNC. Drop our marketing material to other than real estate agents. I would like to say this. It's only happening here in the commercial lending world. The prospect to us are not the actual clients, because as I mentioned, you look for a client, you can only do deal one time, or perhaps you cannot even do the deal. So most of our client or our prospect are professionals. So normally I focusing on the following 4 professionals: real estate agent, you already mentioned, mortgage loan officers, insurance agents, and CPAs. And you can do a Google search. Here in the United States, there are 1.3 million real estate agents, 1.2 million insurance agents, 350,000 loan officers, 660,000 CPAs. All these 4 add together is approximately 3.5 million professionals here in the United States. And all Sequoia won is just 1%, 350,000 of them. Okay.
Could you list them again?
I said again, I'm sorry.
Could you say that again? List them again, the 4?
Real estate agent, loan officers, insurance agents, and CPAs, plus other professionals. But those are the 4 that I would focus on, because these 4 people every single day out there marketing their service, and they will run into business owners that they cannot help, business owners that needs funding that they have no idea where to go to. Partner up with them, bring them onto the platform, recruit them into your organization. That is what I would do. Are we to recruit people to find people who want to start a business? Again, it could be, right? So when you talk to the 4 professionals that I just mentioned, you will be surprised how many deals that they can bring in. I bet you many of them out there already know somebody that needs funding, but they just, because of lack of resources, they just don't know where to go to. So now you come in and become the center. Yes, sir. Yeah, again, so I would suggest you to continue to talk to those people. So anyone else? If not, it's 9 o'clock. And tomorrow I'll be traveling to the Bay Area tomorrow, and tomorrow we have another VP in the company is going to share with us what non-QM loan is all about. He's a very good partner of us. His name is Mr. Jack Jang. He's up in New York. He runs his own mortgage broker up there, and a long time friends. So he will be here talk about the non-QM product, and also he's going to share with you how he generate leads. So if you have time tomorrow, feel free. We already posted onto our Facebook. Feel free to come in. Okay, guys. So wait, let me see. Are there any more questions right here? We missed your comment about the PNC president. Well, meaning that partner up with the bankers. Many bankers out there, they cannot fund the deals, especially big banks. They are very, very conservative right now, especially with the bank that fell in San Francisco. Many lenders right now start to tighten up their underwriting guidelines, and especially in the commercial space. So partner up with them. What type of insurance agent? Any type of insurance agent. How do we know which franchise to approach for loans and approval? Again, if you run into a franchise, just send support an email saying that, hey, I run into this client, he's looking for this particular franchise. We can tell you very, very quickly if that franchise can qualify for loan. So we do have a database that we can go in, that we can look into any what franchise is actually approved by the SBA, and then we can tell you immediately. But most likely, a lot of the franchise can be funded. How do a contractor in Mississippi want a loan? Can I do a contract on him? Yeah. What kind of loan? Absolutely. We can definitely talk about this. You're on Facebook. What time's the meeting? Again, go to Facebook. You will see the event. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is the age limit for getting a loan? There's no age limit. I mean, you got to be an adult. You have to be at least 18 to get a loan. What does the credit score have to be? Ideally 660 and above. Sometimes we can go below that, but just like what I mentioned, right? You need to use your credit to make money. So build up your credit score. Normally we look for 660 and above. They give you a better chance to close the deal. How long does it take typical to get a loan closed for someone? It depending on what type of loans. We have loans that can fund for 5 days. If you're talking about equipment loans, cash advance loans, normally takes about 3 to 5 business days. We can fund it. You're talking about working capital. It takes about 45, 60 days to fund it. You're talking about 1 to 4 unit investment property, about 30 days. So again, it really depending on the type of loan and how complicated that loan is. To build after the tornado there. I don't know what you meant. What is the Telegram link? We don't have a Telegram. We have a Facebook. So Bini, whoever invited you here, talk to that person, and he or she should be able to send you the support link. And if you don't know, just go to our website, any of our websites, seclending.com, seqlending.com. There's a button right there saying that contact us, send us a message, and we will connect you. Okay, guys. That's all we have. And thank you.
One last question.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Allen.
Who's this?
You're Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Yes.
Yeah, from Hayward, California. You mentioned you're going to have an event here, San Francisco. That's close by. Is that open for public or for members only?
For public. Are you connected to our Facebook?
I'm not. I don't think I am connected to your Facebook.
But
I'm a member already of the Sequoia. So.
Okay, if you have Sequoia, send an email to support@seclending.com. Support@seclending.com. seqlending.com. Okay, and ask them for details. They will help you out.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.